So the update is going to be very soon, which means it's going to be the death of the Medic Tower, which in this form at least has been with us since 2019. And I've just timed that beautifully because Tower Defense Simulator is now rebooting its servers for an update. RIP Medic from 2019, you are now dead. Now this does mean that we're going to get a entirely new Medic. So the Medic has been redesigned to focus on support, keeping your team in the fight, with base healing and protecting towers from debilitating stuns. For those who take on the new mission quest, you'll be able to unlock the Mermaid Medic along with a special Medic name tag to show off your achievement. So so the Medic, right? It has an ability apparently where you can select the tower. You can select the tower to assign their Medic gun, providing a shield and a passive cooldown boost. Okay, very cool. Turret refresh. The turret remains a power to avoid damage, but now with completely refreshed models to bring up to modern standards. Complete its mission quest, unlock its Jet Ski turret skin and an exclusive turret name tag, giving this heavy hitter a stylish new look to match its firepower. Limited time Battle Pass discount. Oh, interesting. As we're approaching the end of the current Battle Pass season, we're currently offering a 20% discount on the Surf and Turf products. Additionally, we're adding a 1.5% multiplier for Beachball currency to help you catch up on the Battle Pass, which is very interesting because this 1.5 multiplier currency boost has been passively enabled for literally all the games since last weekend. So yeah, not really too much changes there. This 20% discount they have leaked in the past. Next we have a new PvP map, Distant Shapes. So this is one of the PvP maps that they've leaked previously, and Opulent Remains, it is this map. Very cool. And then Gilded Path, it is a new map. I would have to assume that they have the original Gilded Path map as like a remade version. I'll have to check that out. That'll probably be in the second video. And there we got improvements. PvP loadout after PvP loadout selection now occurs after map selection, which I think is better because I mean after you like choose your map, knowing that it's not going to be like Crash Course, for example, you know, okay, I'm not going to bring the Ace Pilot. Match difficulty for PvP is now determined by the highest level player in the match, so it's no longer an average of all of the elo in that match. PvP now displays the arena within the PvP lobby, okay, and players' loadout is now hidden within the PvP lobby, so they've changed it because upon popular request, a lot of people were frustrated about the fact that your loadout could be seen while you're batting towers. So, for example, many players who use a Necromancer, they didn't want other people projecting or knowing the fact that they use a Necromancer so that they just banned it instantly. Players can no longer override maps within PvP ranked, so I assume that means any of the options that appear here, you can't use Supercomputer to change it. I don't want to test it out because I'll lose my elo. You can now vote for different arenas in PvP casual, okay, so I don't know. Oh, so that means that if you're a person like me, for example, I can go into a basic arena match or a molten arena match because I'm not eligible for that, but I guess you can now vote for different arenas there. And matchmaking for PvP casual now uses level-based matchmaking, so I assume I could use it based on my level. My level 684, so would that mean that other players of my level are paired against me rather than my elo score? That's interesting, I guess. So there looks like there's been minimal changes to the archer. There's only one cost change. The turret change, there's a change to turret, okay. And the assassin, there's a couple of changes there, and the medic is obviously the one that's changed the most. The medic now has a placement limit of 5. This is what the medic currently looks like, the default medic, and then the bunny medic looks like this, the Valentine's medic looks like that, cyber medic looks like that, witch medic looks like that, stranded medic looks like that, the fallen medic looks the same, and the masquerade medic also kind of looks very similar to what it was previously. Slightly different, of course. I'm not entirely sure that the Fallen Medic is any different, but the Masquerade Medic does appear to have a different animation, but its appearance-wise, it doesn't look too different. Alright, so I guess I actually should play an actual regular match, because I have a 4 million damage dealt quest, which allows me to get a high-grade crate, which is quite valuable, I guess. Oh, and that means I don't need to bring the command. I might bring the DJ booth, but I will also bring the Medic, because it apparently also gives a fire rate buff, which is very cool. Do I also bring the turret at the same time? It's very expensive. It's 5,000. I don't know. I feel like you don't bring the medic and the DJ booth. You probably just bring one of the medic, because the medic only has a placement limit of 5 now. It can also heal your base, so that's fair enough. And I guess I need a heavy hitting. I need the ranger, but then I also need the mortar. Do I bring the turret instead of the ranger? I don't know. I think the turret could be a later video, I guess. Yeah, so it does appear like the Battle Pass boost is permanently on until the end of the season, which is in 2 weeks. So if you haven't gotten everything in the Surf to Turf Battle Pass, either grind out now and forget about PvP mode, because PvP mode is going to take a while, but also, I guess, buy everything as well. That's cool, I guess. And then also, it does look like that any health that's been gained appears in the health bar as additional health blue, which is very interesting. I have the passive heal on as part of skills, but I guess the medic is a way of getting it without using skills, which seems really odd in my opinion, I can't lie. Like, skills, in my opinion, is probably looking better than what it is for the medic. Alright then, so let's see what this new medic is made out of. So, yeah, so there's a limit of 5. I assume that its ability, buffing other towers, it does not stack. Okay, so click to toggle this tower, okay. And then if I do it to this, yeah, so you can't stack medics on the same tower. Very interesting. But the medic is, I guess, toggling this. Oh, wait, is it? Okay, the toggle's like that. Why is there a bar here? I wonder what the bar is for. Medigun. Assign a medic to support towers in range with a shield and cooldown boost. Number of max targets is 1, which is fair enough. Shield recharge speed 8 seconds. So I assume if the Crook boss is stunned, if it's stunned again within the next 8 seconds, then the shield just disapparates and it doesn't allow the medic, or doesn't allow the Crook boss to be unstunned in that period, okay? Cooldown boost 20%, so that's the 5 rate boost, and take your vitamins, heals 5 health at the start of every wave. Not entirely sure if that is a overheal. I don't think it's an overheal yet. Next, the medic, if you upgrade it, it can enable toggle with another tower. Okay, so you can't use it on a medic. Can you use it on a farm? Oh no, the tower's out of range. Oh dear, no. Okay, this is going to be poor placement. Okay, right, let me see. Toggle on the farm. Yeah, so you can use it on the farm. Yes, you can give the farm a 20% fire rate boost. That's cool. That's very cool. I assume it also doesn't affect units from the tower in question. So the Crook boss's units here do not get more powerful. Very interesting. Also, interestingly enough, the medic doesn't attack any enemies at this level. So as you can see here, it's all the Crook bosses doing the work here. The medics can't attack. I don't know if it's able to attack. It doesn't look like it's able to attack at any level. So this might be one of the only towers in the game that can't actually attack any enemies. Sorry. If I've said attacking towers, obviously I mean attacking towers attacking enemies. But yeah, and this is unlike every other tower in the game, because interestingly enough, the farm can attack enemies indirectly and through synergy with the harvester tower, but the medic does seem like it can't buff or can't damage any enemies at all. I mean, technically, yes, the firework technician can't either, but through the firework buff it can. I don't know. It seems like overall the medic is the only tower with like a damage counter here that can't be increased, but we'll see. So prescribe vitamins. So what is it? You're going from 12 range to 14 range at this level. Max assigned towers 2 to 3. Shield regen speed 8 to 6. Overheal limit. Okay, so the medic can't heal currently right now because there is no overheal, but the overheal limit has gone from 0 to 5. And upgrade health regen, I'd have to, yeah, so overheal limit 0 to 5. I'm on the next wave if it gets healed to 2, 3, 5. I already assume I've already reached my overheal limit. I also assume that the medic can target cliff towers. Yeah, it can. Okay, that's very cool. And yeah, so it doesn't seem like the medic should be used. Okay, so click that off. I don't want that. And then you want that. Yeah, so yeah, that's interesting, I guess. And it does seem like, yes, it does so the medic has its separate own overheal that is separate to the skills overheal. So you can overheal more than currently what you have. So I guess in hardcore mode, the medic does have some benefit, but it really doesn't if you really think about it, because you're not really going to die to like 1 health enemies unless it's like really early on. But even then, the medic isn't attacking enemies, it's buffing other towers. So unless that buff is substantial enough to other towers, it's not going to really be worth too much to overheal your base, at least with the medic in hardcore mode. I guess in the hidden wave, no, in the hidden wave it will be even more disastrous because the medic will be able to heal, which is not ideal, obviously. Yeah, the medic not going to be very useful. It's going to be actually banned, or like close to banned, or unrecommended in the hidden wave, but that's cool, I guess. So then you get Big Brain. I also have to remember to, if I want to select this tower, right, do remember that the medic is enabled on that. So probably not ideal to do that, obviously. There is also no time limit, by the way, on like deselecting your towers from the medic, so you can do it at your whim's end. There's no like there's no time limit as there is in the case of swapping between traps for the trapper at the very least. That's quite cool, I guess. Depending on like the towers in range of the enemies, or like if you want to go from like the ranger or like splash damage towers to go faster, for example, depending on the type of enemies that are around, the medic can easily accommodate for that. But do bear in mind, it's not as good as the commander in this regard, because the commander can buff all of the towers within its range unlimited to a theoretical point, obviously, whereas the medic does have a limit. So at level 3 for $2,700, I don't know these dollar cost prices. They seem very similar to what was previously. So you're going from what, 14 to 15 range, barely anything. A health regen from 5 to 10, overheal limit 5 to 10. What's the Uber charge? Oh, okay, so I get to ride an Uber. Give all assigned towers a temporary damage boost 20%, duration 7.5%, cooldown 60 seconds. That's quite a long cooldown boost for an ability, I can't lie. So obviously if I use this, yeah, so alongside the fire rate buff and the damage boost, the medic can also increase a damage boost, I guess, to the towers that it's currently shielding. Now obviously that is probably the reason why the medic is currently limited to 5. However, do bear in mind that this medic here, I mean, theoretically, this medic, what you can do, right, is unselect these towers, then temporarily these towers don't have a buff, but then you can swap over to this medic and then swap over to these towers and then provide a buff, which it should do. I don't know why this one is on cooldown. I just have to do it through here. Yeah. So you can easily swap between towers with the medic, but then obviously you're limited to however many towers there are in your range of the medic, which I think it can go up to like 5. And then at level 4, Medipack, $66,000 to upgrade. You're going from 15 to 18 range. Upgrade Medigun, max assigned towers 3 to 4. Shield regen speed 6 to 4.5. Uber charge, what? So you're going from a 20% damage buff to 27.5% damage buff, which is quite high. 7.5 to 10-second duration. Cooldown is still 60 seconds. Health regen increase from 10 to 20, and the overheal is also increased from 10 to 20. Very cool. Then we got PhD, which is one level of graduation that I'm not going to get a doctorate in. I don't know, philosophy. I don't know what PhD even stands for. It doesn't seem like I'll go for a doctorate. I am an undergrad. I've gotten my bachelor's degree, so it's probably likely I'll probably go for a master's degree. It's very unlikely I'll do a PhD though, so yeah, developers haven't named this after me, unfortunately. But PhD, 16,000, you're going from 18 to 20 range. Upgrade Medigun, 4 to 5, so I was right. Max assigned towers is 5. The Uber charge has changed from 27.5% damage buff to 40% damage buff. It's quite good. And for a duration of 10 seconds to 15 seconds, also quite good. That means theoretically you only need 4 medics to buff the same 5-ish towers that you have in your range. You just have to do all the deselecting things, which means, yeah, theoretically, there is another micro tower in Tower Defense Simulator that you could micromanage. However, it's going to be a very complicated tower to micromanage, and people are very, I want to say they're hard done by the commander, but the commander, when there was only a 2 limit, people were very pissed about having to manage that one. So, yeah, go up what you will. And the health regen for the medic has also increased from 20 to 25. And the overheal limit has gone from 20 to 50. Okay, so you need 2 waves after you upgrade the medic to max to actually reach that overheal. Now, what do I think of these changes, right? They just kind of make the medic more up to date, I guess, with the Tower Defense Simulator meta. I wouldn't say that it makes the medic tower a unbelievable support tower. I think many people are going to use the DJ booth more than the medic, especially with the limit that the medic has on 5 and then 5 towers that it can actually buff. However, with that being said, I do see some utility of this in like multiplayer modes, because I mean, previously back then the medic was only being used to like unstun towers, and I mean, like with the updates to the medic towers, it does mean that the medic can't be used as a micromanager of unstunning, I guess, because you can't cleanse towers. I do have to assume that the new shield ability may be able to prevent towers from being debuffed, but I don't know that for sure. Also, the Medic is unable to give towers hidden detection, as you can see here, but the Medic itself is also unable to damage any enemies, which is a major concern given the fact that many people were using the Medic as like a cheap golden scout, which, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that usage, but I mean, fair enough. But yeah, I think the Medic, in my opinion, is a bit of a budget commander. I think it still remains an intermediate tower, but it largely occupies the role of what the commander relatively does, except to a degree that has more utility outside of the fire rate buff. The fire rate buff, from what it seems like, is more permanent, but then obviously the commander has a passive fire rate buff, which is, I guess, more permanent as well. It is permanent. But then the Medic's also able to provide a damage buff. It's also able to provide a shield which prevents any stuns. No comment on any debuffs. I would have to assume so, but I don't know that for sure. Yeah, but all in all, I think the Medic has been updated. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not convinced, shall we say, that it's a good tower to use. And I'm not entirely convinced that many people will use this tower unless there's something game-breaking about it or something meta about it, which I really can't see for now.